What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have liked and sub, and let's get into this. Probably going to be my last video on the subject until the game comes out, because I think at this point we really do have our answers. So this all started a couple days ago when we got these type of stories dropping on different gaming sites that basically in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, it had been banned for unskippable gay scenes. If you ever played the game, at least the first one, you know there's no such thing as an unskippable cutscene, but unskippable cutscenes. And then that was determined that the translations of that were a little shoddy. It was through AI, depending on which AI program you used. It also meant degeneracy and a couple of other different things. And also, the game has yet to been announced of being banned in Saudi Arabia. And after a little back and forth, we finally had Daniel Vavra, the creative game director, go step by step through every single bit of it, such as there are no unskippable cutscenes. They do not, nor have they ever been banned in another country. They don't like forced diversity either. And the one black character isn't forced diversity. There's a very specific reason, not explicit, or maybe. Gay characters were already in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. There was a couple of them at the end there, and it was of the times, i.e. they knew what they were doing was wrong according to their religion and their society. Kingdom Come Deliverance is an RPG, so even though you're playing as Henry, you're allowed to role play him in different situations. They're all optional, and the best part about this, when they're talking about it, all affairs in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, the characters are perfectly aware that it was a forbidden sin. So they are well aware of the social norms at the time, which is what we ask for. Don't put modern day social norms or religious norms. Put them in the time that you are making the game in. When it came to the every NPC looking like a modern time period, you're not going to see that in Bohemia. But in those bigger cities, you might see a little bit. And this is where he says the game takes place in one of the richest cities in Europe, which was besieged by a massive foreign army. That's the reason why the life in a city is more diverse than in the villages, which were featured in the first game. And when he talks about the black character, it is very specific. Yes, there's racism, even if it would be a different type of racism as we would have currently. But yes, there was prejudice, racism, and all those things, and you'll see all of it. So again, set in the social norms of the time. And the big one here at the end is we don't want Kingdom Come Deliverance to be used as clickbait, which it has been, throwing around terms like sodomizer and shit, by people who didn't even play it yet. Some of them sadly turned into exactly the same narrative they pretend to be fighting against. The amount of hateful behavior is really sad, and it will damage. So look, it really comes down to, do you believe that it's what they're going to say right here, or that it's what he's saying? Or do you believe that no, they forced them to do this, it's woke, quote unquote, I'm not going to play it? Those of you who seem to have played the first one, because I've been reading the comments, and I understand this, if you still, even after them saying the reasons, you don't want to play it, I get it. But if this is, to me, the best interpretation of what adding these type of elements to a game would be done. For one, it's their decision. Here, there's Ms. Vavra, how are you? Once again, I'd like to ask about Henry's peculiarities. Since you create him, could you say, canonically speaking, regardless of the player's choice, Henry of Scalise is heterosexual? And then Daniel just said, Henry is you, meaning that if you choose for him to be heterosexual, he's heterosexual. If not, then he's not. And then that's pointing up. But in the first one, you didn't have the option to be gay. And this was from 8 years ago. This is this community manager, which answered the most recent one. He answers it more or less saying that you're a blacksmith, you're this, you're that. At the time, he says, being gay or straight, he talks about it doesn't matter what you are as a person, you're going to be playing as Henry. Then recently, yesterday, he answered, that was probably me who answered that back then. I did not establish Henry as a character. Vavra did. There is no option to be bi in the first one, but nobody be he's wrong about this one too. Now there is the option to be bi, but nobody will be forcing you to play as the bi character. In addition, Henry can now also be more of a cat person. So they've added options, and you go, why didn't they add it in the first one? I saw Hypnotic ask Vavra. Yeah, like, he's defending this choice. Hey, it's your decision, creative integrity. That's what we've just been fighting for. Why wouldn't Henry the option to be bi or gay in the first one? Budget constraints. is the option. They did not have the extra money to code and get the extra dialogue and cinematics and all that. So he says, sorry, more than 8 years ago, years before the release of Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, I did not know which additional options we would have for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, or if there would be a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 at all. On Kickstarter, we promised the game would be sold in 3 acts. You underestimate how dynamic game development is. Yeah, so there you go. They're saying that in the first one, they did not have the time or money, so basically budget constraints. And now, 8 years later, they do have the time to add in the option. The option, and again, much like those romance checks in earlier BioWare games, we were hearing that you have to go out of your way. You have to multiple times. You have to make little gay comments to whoever the option is to finally have a very short cutscene at the end when the female male romances are longer. I have zero problem with this. This is back to where we were. This is no different than back in the day when Mass Effect and other things at the end would add the gay option. Now it's just of how good is the writing when they do it. But this just goes to show you how far we have come, how much the messages and the progression has been regressed to the point that we just want everything straight all the time now. And they did that to themselves. That is pattern recognition. And I don't fault you if you feel that way. But hey, a lot of gay people also got hurt by all this. They were the ones fighting right alongside with us, saying, stop turning us into parodies. We have a lot of gay people in the chat. Don't turn us into parodies. Don't use us as shields. Blah, 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 blah. And be ashamed to have their options and gameplays removed because these nutters tried to destroy everything. You let me know. Is this it? Now that you know the only reason there wasn't an option of this in the first one, does that change how you feel about the first one? Or do you just think they're lying? Because if you just think they're lying, I can't deal with anything with that. So anyway, let me know what you think about all this. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.